All right, welcome everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings to you all. Welcome to another edition of Senior Stars. How is everyone doing? Rashida and Umar, if you can kindly turn on your cameras, that would be great. Thank you. Rashida, I want to see your beautiful face. So we do have uh, a guest, Rashid, a guest here to observe, one of our new volunteers, Anna. Really quickly, I guess we'll go around and introduce ourselves, and then Anna will introduce herself last to let us know, where she's coming from. So, as you know, my name is Demi Fozia, go by Dr. Fozia by most, and I co-lead the Senior Stars After School Club this year with Sister Letitia. Um, and our focus this year is on career and college preparedness. So I guess Sister Letitia, you can go next. You're muted, sister.
Okay, hello
Thank
guys.
you.
I am Letitia Ojurier, and as Dr. Demi said, I help co-facilitate this program or the course for the Senior Stars. Anna, I'm located in Arizona. I'm not in Maryland, and by profession, I'm a nationally certified school psychologist.
Yeah.
Nice to meet
All
you, Anna.
right.
I'm glad you're here.
All righty. So next, thanks for that. Rashida, just a quick intro.
Hi, my name is Rashida. I'm in ninth grade and I live in Virginia.
Okay. Omar.
Hi, my name is Umar. I'm in ninth grade and I live in Maryland.
Okay. And then Anna, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us some of the things. What drew you to wanting to volunteer with the Aafiyah project?
So, hi everyone, my name is Anna. I'm a sophomore at UMBC. I'm a biology major, and I'm actually part of the Shriver Floor. So we do a lot of volunteering around our area, which includes the DMV and a lot of Baltimore. And I saw your guys' project, I saw your message, and I thought this is exactly where I want to be. This is exactly what I want to be doing. And I'm happy to be here and I'm excited to work with you all.
Okay, cool. Thanks for that and welcome. So we look forward to working with you over this semester and hopefully also in the summer, volunteering and giving us some feedback in the programming. Anna will be here with us just until like probably 4 o'clock. Is that when you have to jump off, which is fine. So we do, I have a packed agenda and unfortunately not everyone is here to really benefit from their feedback from our visit. So hang on. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and Sister Letitia, chime in as we go along because some of my information may be dated or there might be more current information that you'd like to share. And I'm totally open to that. I need to take off this caption. It drives me nuts. All righty. So just a quick reminder of some of the requirements we agreed to on our first day is for everyone to show up on time, be fully engaged, be respectful, and complete the lessons or activities from the previous class. Our last meeting was actually going on a college campus visit to Stevenson University. So we'll talk a bit about that. The objective of the Senior Stars Club is to help students gain the skills and knowledge that they need in order to seek education and training beyond high school and eventually embark on fulfilling careers, right? So really quickly, I'd like for us to reflect on our visit to Stevenson University. Let me stop sharing for a moment. So let's have Rashida. Tell me a little bit about what was that experience like for you?
It was a good experience. I liked how compared to the other schools, I liked how they actually talked about the stuff that they were offering in the school and how everything works and like the different programs that they were offering. So that's
Okay,
amazing.
excellent. Cool. Thanks for sharing. How about you, Omar?
I like how everything is like modern in that school, and how I like the size of it, like not too big or not too small.
Okay, cool. Thanks for sharing that. And it's important for you to see that. You wouldn't know that just by looking online and reading about the school, right? Those are things you really needed to be there to experience. Rashida mentioned discussions, and I know we had lengthy discussions with current students about the courses that they're taking in the school. So that was very helpful. Thanks for sharing, you two. Just kind of piggybacking on that, before we talk about, maybe discuss we've actually touched on it, the reason why we visit college campuses, but really for us, and majority of us are Muslims here, what's the whole point of this? Why even bother going into any kind of career, investing in like a 2-year or 4-year college journey? What's the whole point of this? There are only 2 of you guys, so I'm going to be picking on you like. So go ahead and open up. Come on, guys. So what's the point of doing this? What's the point of planning for all this?
To get a good education.
To get a good education. Okay, that's a good start. Well, I'd like to bring,
Okay.
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to ask Rashida, what does she think? And just to go off of what Omar said, that it's a part of our religion, right? To whatever we do a really good job at it, and we excel and we do a fine job at whatever we do, whether it's an education, a formal education, like going to college or picking up a trade. We want to do it at the highest level with really good expertise and, follow through. So, yep. Okay, Dr. Demi, sorry about that.
No, that's great. Thanks for adding that. Very much along the lines of what I was going to get to. So, why do we visit campuses, or why do we even do this at all? Bringing it back to Islam. Omar, if you can read this surah for us, I'd appreciate it.
وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون.
MashaAllah. Thanks for that. And the translation is, and I did not create the jinn and mankind except to worship me. So for me, in whatever I do in life, as a Muslim, I always relate whatever it is, in terms of professional career, in terms of how I'm raising my kids, in terms of how I am trying to live a healthier lifestyle, I refer it back to my purpose in life, which is I was created by God to worship him. So if I'm going to be, helping facilitate a class on or sessions on career and college preparedness, I'm hoping that I can instill in the young folks that we're talking to, like Sister Letitia said, you want to be at the height of whatever it is you're doing. Your purpose is not tied to a higher being. So it's not just you. So some of our students mentioned that they would like to be medical doctors. Well, we would want you to be a medical doctor so you can serve the community, help folks gain better health. You want to be a teacher, you want to teach the next generation. We don't want a community where everyone is ignorant, right? So always remember to tie it back to that, because college, career, whatever it is, it's not just all fun and play. We just want to and it's something that we really need to be going into with a very clear mind. Okay. All righty. So which ties in, we already mentioned this, why visit college campuses? It really gives you an opportunity to get the touch and feel, the look and feel rather of of what a college, someone just came in, let me let them in, gives you the look and feel of what a college is like. Folks can describe to you, oh yeah, that college is huge, it's a big university, but does it really make, is it really tangible enough for you? Or it's in a city, well, what kind of city, what does it look like? So that's the purpose of this, and it's something, as I've shared with you all many times, that we hope to continue to do. So one of the big things that came up during this visit is the whole idea around financial aid. It seems like we're not totally clear on what financial aid is and what that entails, why we want to do it. Well, for us as Muslims, we know that when you hear financial aid, a lot of people also think about college student loans, right? We know that the loans come with interest, and for us as Muslims, we don't want to engage in interest-bearing loans. So, a lot of times we try to work around that aspect, but financial aid has so many different components, and I really want us to start looking at it and breaking it down a bit, right? So generally speaking, financial aid is money that helps us pay for college or career schools or vocational studies. There are different sources for financial aid. It could be federal, state, at the federal, state level. Also, different schools, individual schools may actually give out financial aid, for students who are specifically going only to those schools, or private. You have private organizations who gives financial aid, and I keep getting cut between it. I'm just going to use the umbrella term of financial aid to students who qualify for whatever qualifications they have put forth. So financial aid can be put into 4 different categories, right? Especially when it comes to universities, as well as maybe vocational schools. No problem, Nafisa. Salam alaikum, salam, welcome. So we have grants, we have scholarships, and we have work study and student loans, right? So let's get into them. I actually have a quick video to share with you all. And I'm learning that I need to pause the recording because they keep blocking my my videos on YouTube, because we're using all these great resources online. So hang on, let me pause that. If I can find it, I can't find it. Okay, here. Sorry. We're going to look at the different breakdowns of the different financial aids that are available. All right, so we have grants. Let's have Umar, can you please read this to us?
Financial aid, grants. A grant is a form of financial aid that doesn't have to be repaid unless, for example, you withdraw from school and owe a refund, or you receive a teach grant and don't complete your service obligation. A variety of federal grants are available, including Pell Grants, Federal Supplement Education Opportunity Grants, Teacher Education Assistance for College and Higher Education Grants, and Iraq and Afghanistan Service Grants.
Yeah, and a lot of this has changed from when I was in school, so I'm having to literally really research them. The only one I recognize is Pell Grants. Obviously, there are different types of grants that are out there now, right? And specific to Maryland, I couldn't really get into something for Virginia, but I plan to look that up, inshallah. There's a particular website you can go to that lists different grants, and I'll share those resources with you all. I just wanted to put it out there that there are websites that really, they could be state, you could consider them state by state, where you can get more information about what your state has to offer. So next up are scholarships. Can we have Rashida please read this?
Many nonprofit and private organizations offer scholarships to help students pay for college or career school. This type of free money, which is sometimes based on academic merit, talent, or a particular area of study, can make a real difference in helping you manage your education expenses.
Thanks for that, Rashida. Things to keep in mind. It's free money, typically based on academic talent, merit, or some kind of talent that you have. So if you're like a, visual arts type person. That's what I'm thinking of in terms of that, or very specific to an area of study. I know at UMBC, for example, they have like the scholars program. Stevenson University, they mentioned they have their leadership program, and they usually would have a particular kind of scholarship tied to it. So before we move on to the next two, who can help us point out the main difference between grants and scholarships, or the similarities? Nafisa, we haven't heard from you.
A scholarship is free money that they give you, and a grant is like,
A grant is actually free money as well, right?
yeah.
Okay. So here's what I found. So generally speaking, grants are given based on financial need, while scholarships are merit-based, and they're awarded to students based on academic achievement or some kind of extracurricular. Remember the talent aspect. If you have a talent for something, and they're giving out scholarships to promote that particular talent or field of study. So they're very similar, right, Sister Letitia? Anything else we can point out in terms of the similarities or differences between these two?
That sounds about right. Just give me one moment. Right, so a grant could also be, so it can also be like a grant that is targeted or specific. For example, women who code. And so like your first generation engineer in your family, right? So sometimes when you see grants, they're also very specific. Just to add that extra point in there as well, Dr. Demi.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thanks for that.
Grants and scholarships, I think both of them are the same way. So that's some of the similarities. So you could see the scholarships as well. They're focused on like a specific type of person or a specific person and what their educational needs are, or first generation this, or minority women who are interested in engineering. So you see that with both.
Yeah, very similar. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. All right, so next, any questions so far?
And I can speak to work study when we get to work study.
Okay, absolutely. So let's have, who's on here with us as well? All right, Farouk, could you please read work study? You're unmuted, just in case make sure you know that.
Me?
Farouk?
Oh.
Farouk Mustafa. Can you hear us, Farouk? All right, you know what, let's see. Rashida, we'll circle back to you. You read federal work study.
The federal work study program allows you to earn money to pay for school by working part-time.
All righty, thanks for that. Things to really keep in mind is the fact that it's minimum wage basically that you're being paid, and it's something that you get a job on campus. You're working on campus. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Farouk. He says he's not feeling well. Hope you feel better. So what else did you want to add to that, Sister Letitia?
So guys, I think I told you guys this when we did our initial introductions when we first started. I worked at a university for 5 years, worked there in the College of Education. And so I was actually a work study supervisor. And what does that look like if you're work study? So generally, students who are work study students, they're students who tend to come from households where parents are lower income, right? And they're given a paper from the Department of Work Study, and then they go around and they just go around to different departments and they say, hi, I'm a work study student. I'm interested in a job, or the department would actually call us and say, hey, are you guys looking for a work study student? They just don't go around. The department on the campus calls all the departments and say, do you need help in your department? We have about 3 work study students. Would you mind interviewing them to see if one of them or 2 of them are a good match, or how many do you want? And so I've had the opportunity to work with several work study students, and the two that I've worked with, they were really nice kids. One needed to help support her family while she was attending school, and she didn't want to get a job off campus. And she was a very responsible girl. She's like, I need to really help my mom, but I can't get like a job off campus. I need something that's going to help me. So everyone has like a different situation. One student, he lived on campus, but he didn't want to burden his mom with any additional financial stuff like food and stuff like that. So they explain their situation. You train them. So they do get experience, Dr. Demi, while they're a work study student, even if it's not in their field. Because mostly what they were doing for me was clerical things and also helping out the professors in the department. And I think back then, I'm pretty sure it has gone up because that's been over, wow, that's been a long time. That's probably been over 6 years ago, maybe like over almost 10 years. It was about $9 an hour, and they work about 20 hours a week. They can't go over like 18 hours a week or 20 hours a week. But when you put it together for like a young person who just needs to buy groceries or have transportation money, if they are a commuting student or whatever, it helps out. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think another beauty of work studies, you are working on campus, right? And which means when finals rolls around or midterms, they know that, oh, you need extra time to study, as opposed to if you get a job off campus, which might not be as convenient to get to, and they may not be understanding of when that student needs to take extra time to study. So definitely something to consider.
You'll be surprised, like we have parties for our work study students, to like a work study appreciation day, because they become a part of the department. They receive gift cards from the professors and from, the people that they're working with, like myself. So they end up getting like maybe an extra $500 throughout the year cash that, is not reported on their taxes, because they get those little gifts rolling in.
Yeah.
So
that's a nice deal. Nice. Yeah, I remember I did work as a work study student for a bit in college. That was fun. All right, so next, the fourth one is student loans. Who's going to do this reading? Let's see who is in here. Naeem, unmute yourself and read this, please. Go ahead, Naeem. Oh, and Anna had to leave.
Read the section.
Read when you receive.
Okay. When you receive a student loan, you are borrowing money to attend a college or career school. You must repay the loan as well as interest that occurs. It is important to understand your repayment options so you can successfully repay your loan.
Oh, thanks for that. The key things to remember: the money must be paid back. It's not free money. Unlike the other ones we've talked about, it's not free money at all, and interest does accrue on this. Remember this. This is what's killing a lot of students in this day and age. Sometimes it's not even just the money that you borrowed, but the interest that accrues on it. As Muslims, you wonder why Allah said riba is haram, because it just continues to blow up. So that student loan for you. There are other money. Oh, so yeah, I was going to review this once again. So here are the things we talked about in terms of earlier, in terms of the what financial aid entails. So certainly things like grants and scholarships is where we want you all to be at. Those are my 3 thumbs up if I had to like rate them. Anyway, you want to aim for those, apply to as many as possible. There are no limits typically on how many grants or scholarships you can apply for. And those you start maybe even as early as 11th grade, but definitely your 12th grade year, that's going to be a focus. Work study is also a good idea as described. You do have to take extra time it's basically having a job, but it helps you give you supportive income. Student loan gets a thumbs down, obviously. You only want to go there if you absolutely must take it, but we still want to really stress the grants and the scholarships for you all, right?
And if you have to take it, I'm sure you guys are going to have parents who are going to coach you through it. So they're going to always offer you more than what you need. Let's say if your tuition is $10,000, they may say, okay, you've been approved for $15,000 per semester. So that means in all actuality, your tuition is maybe 20,000 with your books and everything, because they do an estimate. But sometimes they give you more. Now, I've seen that before. It has also happened to me when I had student loans. Maybe my tuition was only 5,000, but they'll say, oh no, Letitia, we could give you $10,000 per semester. Think about that's an extra $10,000 that I'm taking on for the year. That's going to be, interest will accrue on that. And so usually when people are young, like myself at that time, and a lot of my friends, we were like, what? We have an extra $5,000. Wait, we don't have an extra $5,000. We have money that we're going to have to pay interest on. So you only take what you need. And most of you, I'm praying that you go into a career that as soon as you graduate, if you're going into engineering, if you take out, let's just say, hopefully you do not have to, I'm hoping you do not have to, $25,000 or $30,000 or $40,000, let's say even $50,000 in student loans. An engineer could pay that back their first year as an engineer, because your salary is going to be that or even more. So the goal is to rip off the Band-Aid, like I forgot his name, the financial guru. You just pay it right back. Don't waste any time. Or if you feel like, you know what, let me make interest only payments while I'm in school if I'm earning a little bit of money, do those type of things. So I'm against student loans, but I'm against student loans even more when they're taken out blindly. They're not taken out wisely, and they're taken out over the amount that's really required. So yeah.
Oh my goodness, those are great points. I wish I had all those nuggets back then. And you're right, they're predatory because they want to make money off of you. So they will almost always offer you way more than you need just to, and then no kids, you're really not, you just see it as extra money. You're not thinking, I still have to pay that back. So great points. Thank you so much. So just a little bit more about different types of loans. They do, I'm sorry, financial aid programs. They do have some aid for family, military families. So if you're in a family where someone is in the military, in the service, there are extra special types of aid for them. I didn't know that they do this now, aid for international study, whereby if you want to study outside of the US, you can get financial aid for that. I think if you're interested in it, I certainly think it's something worth looking into. And you know, just the experience of going to a university outside of the US in of itself is a great experience that you could definitely jump on. Okay, what else? Okay, of course, aid from your state government. Again, I'll share these resources with you all in terms of what's specific to your state. And we do have a page on the Aafiyah Project website, kind of hidden. I need to bring it up so we can see it quicker, where we would list all these resources. And anyone who comes across any additional resources, we are more than happy to take a look at it and include them. And we mentioned this aid from the college or career school that you are attending in form of grants or scholarships, right? All right, so, you know, I wasn't sure how much in depth we wanted to get into this, but this is more useful for those who are like, especially in the 11th grade, gearing up to go into your 12th grade year. Take a screenshot of this. Take a screenshot. It kind of goes through the process of how to fill out the FAFSA, the free application for federal state student aid. Again, the FAFSA form is something everyone has to fill out pretty much, unless you have all the money in the world and you don't want to ask anyone for any kind of extra money, extra funding, and you're ready to pay for your school out of pocket. But other than that, everyone really needs to fill out the FAFSA form, because it's through this that the federal government basically assesses your parents' income to see how much money they're going to support you with. Also, even some scholarship or grant applications require you to fill it out anyway, and then they'll supplement whatever it is that you are not able to cover. That makes sense. So for for our seniors who are in the 12th grade or heading into the 12th grade, you want to go through these processes, and you definitely you're going to become very familiar with this website as your, I believe it's October, as your senior year commences. By October, that's when the due date for the FAFSA forms are. So you want to get to know that. So quick
I wanted
question.
to just interject really quickly, Dr.
ahead.
Demi, and everyone. It's funny because the undergraduate is just always like super duper expensive. But when you go for your graduate degree, let's just say like a master's degree, I feel like there's always like that extra cushion. And one of those are similar to like being a work study student, but you're a graduate assistant and they don't care about your income. Right. So I had the opportunity to supervise graduate assistants as well, where the person actually got their master's degree for free, just working in the department with me, obviously helping out with the professors and different things like that. So I had the opportunity to supervise 2 graduate assistants. One was like a musician in the musical program, and the other one, she was finishing up. She wanted to become a teacher and she finished up there. And then not only that, with graduate programs, depending on what field it is, they can also pay where there's no income restriction or anything like that. It's just that they need that, they have the funds to fulfill those, to give money out, is the point that I'm making.
No, right on.
You're right. Good grades in your undergraduate program.
You're spot on with that. I remember I did serve as a graduate research assistant as well. And that's good. It just feels good not to have to worry about paying that little bit of extra, money that goes towards your tuition. It's almost like a discount for your tuition. So I hope I haven't lost anyone yet. I know this seems like boring information, but it's really something that will become more useful especially as the time arrives, the time gets closer for you to start applying for all this. So quick question, you all, what exactly is included in the cost of college? So say I got, I've just gotten admitted into State University of Maryland. I just made that up. What are the costs that I'm going to have to pay?
Tuition.
Tuition, okay.
Food, possibly transportation, books, like resources, I guess.
Okay, thanks. Yep, you're right, Omar. Thanks for that. So you need to be thinking about tuition, room and board if you plan to live on campus, right? Your books, because the books are not free. And I think, we talked about this at Stevenson University. Folks are getting very creative with books now. You can actually rent books. I remember gone are the days where you had to pay, I'd spend like $500 on textbooks. And usually these textbooks you use for one semester or 1 year at the most. And then there's like another edition out soon after that. So those books are kind of useless in some way. And they cost a lot of money. So with technology and everything, folks are getting more creative. Sometimes I hear about students getting books online for free, completely free, or just sharing it somehow. So yes, those things and even more are included in the cost of college. So let's look at some of the things that I came up with. The tuition, which is basically how much it costs to take courses. And it varies, state university versus private university. Definitely huge cost differences there. Also, speaking for undergraduate, and you can chime in, Sister Letitia, when you go full-time, there's a set amount of cost attached to that. So full-time, I think full-time basis for undergraduate is at least 12 credits. So if you take 12 credits, 15 credits, or 18 credits, I'm not saying overload yourself, you pay the same tuition amount. But if you're going part-time, you're paying per credit hour. So let me tell you, that can add up very quickly. Just so you know, I see you nodding your head, Sister Letitia, but I didn't hear anything. You're muted. You're muted.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
My university, they have started that probably about 2010, 2011, where if you went at 12 credits or more, you pay the same amount. There, you could take 18 credits if you wanted to, and your tuition does not go up. I mean, a lot of people started taking advantage of it because we were just like, wait, what? We were thinking about our pockets, right? But you are right if you go part-time, if you have a reason to go part-time. So everybody's situation is different. We have some students who are self-supporting, meaning they go to school, they work, they have to take care of their family, or they live on their own and they have to take care of themselves. But if you don't have that barrier or that block in front of you, and you're like, you know what, I could take 5 classes, and think about if you take an extra class every semester, an extra, and then you do your summer 1 classes, your summer 2 classes, if they're available, because there's a condensed schedule or smaller, more limited schedule, summer 1 and summer 2, you'll probably end up finishing possibly a semester early.
Or even up to a year early.
Even up to a year early. Yep.
Yeah. And another thing, and this is not in this presentation, is think about your advanced placement classes, your AP courses. I know when I took AP courses, took the exams, I was exempt from certain classes. So I was starting my university career, so to speak, my university journey, a semester ahead. I still spent 4 years in college anyway, but those are things to consider in terms of helping you knock out a few semesters or even up to a whole year as you apply for college. Okay, so room and board, definitely it's not free. You have to pay for that while if you plan to live on campus, and it's not just necessarily paying for the residential hall and staying there, but you have to think in terms of there are additional costs to it. You got to buy linens for your bed. You have to buy what supplies. You guys remember the residential halls we visited in all 3 universities? They don't come nicely put together like that. It comes with very basic stuff: a bunk, a mattress, and I thought now they even provide them with a refrigerator. We used to have to bring our refrigerator in our microwaves. Now they have that available to you all. So those are all additional costs, and certainly books and school supplies. You got to write. And computers quickly become a necessity in this day and age, right? Other things. Fees. We don't always talk about that, but there are additional fees you have to pay. Activity fees, parking. Some schools still offer free parking, Stevenson University being one of them, but a place like GW that some of you went to, parking is not free. You have to pay to have, or it's not even open to underclassmen. Typically they would restrict it to like only sophomores, meaning second year and up, or third years and up, because they're running out of space to have students to have cars on campus. And then you still have to pay for parking, those things. Okay, so you have to go to the universities to see what those parking, those additional fees are. Other things, I mentioned computer, reading lamp, microwave and refrigerator, sheets and towels, some of the extra things I mentioned. Travel. If you have to travel, this, especially for those who maybe you're not staying on campus, gas is expensive. You got to plan for that. If you're driving from one place to another, you have to really think about how much that's going to cost you. You have to wash your clothes. I was really surprised about a lot of things that at Stevenson University that was still being given for free. I think I remember when I was undergrad, we had to use quarters. You had to pay to wash your clothes. It wasn't free. The machine was there, but you had to pay to use the machines. So schools vary. Just keep that in mind. All right. Okay. So I do have a quick video I was going to share, but I wanted to ask you all so far, any questions? Just wanted to do a quick check-in regarding some of the things you've learned so far that we've talked about so far. I'm gonna stop calling names. Rashida, Naeem, Nafisa, Omar. I know Farouk is not feeling well. Any thoughts about what you've just learned? Are you clear on the different types of financial aid?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are the different types of financial
Yeah.
aid, Rashida?
There's student loans, there's scholarships, there's the military, is it called military aid?
Okay, it's a different, yeah.
And then there's the study one.
Work study. Yep.
Study.
Okay,
then-
thanks. Uh-huh. But you wanted to add another one.
No.
And don't forget the golden ones, the grants and the scholarships.
Yeah, scholarships.
Absolutely, grants and scholarships. We want to really, don't sleep on those. Those are the lifesavers, mashallah. All righty, so I do have a video I want to share. Hang on. I sent you the link. Did everyone get the link? Do me a
Yes.
favor, Rashida, and save that for your brother, please. Share that with him. And yeah. Okay, bummer, but we'll make this work still. Hang on. I don't know why that is not playing. Autoplay. Wow. Okay. No worries. And here's another page that actually would be useful for everyone. Let me share it before I open it up here. Where there's a checklist for each grade. So I know, especially for those of you in the ninth grade, it might, or even eighth grade, it might seem like such a far off time. Well, there are things that you want to start looking into in each grade level. Again, this is the advice coming from the Federal Student Aid Program. So they've got what the checklist for ninth grade, the things you should be doing. Also things for parents to be doing while you're in the ninth grade. And this would especially, I looked through some of them, they're really, it's preparation so that you are not overly like overwhelmed when that time comes. Because I hear from the tone of a lot of parents I speak to already, they're scared, they're concerned, like, oh my goodness, it's happening so fast. So hopefully if you pay attention to this the checklist for each grade level in high school, it's really going to help when you should be taking the PSAT or the SAT itself or ACT, all those things. It really outlines in that link. So please, please, please take a look at it and skim through it and share with your parents as well. Let me see. Oh, actually, I was going to go through the task. One more thing I want to share with you all. This is a resource that a brother just shared with me. I can't copy this. Okay. In an effort to help Muslims with loans that do not bear interest, there's something called the ACC. I am totally new to this. It's this is the first time I've been to their website. And I thought it was quite impressive. So I'm going to share that with you guys here. Also share it. Again, I'm very brand spanking new to this. I don't have a whole lot of information about it. Okay, ACC stands for a continuous charity. So I guess it's a community fund, and I would really love to learn more about it, where students can apply for loans and not have to pay interest on them. Have you ever heard of this, Sister Letitia? Yeah, this is still new, interest-free education.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
This is, if this is, I don't know anyone who's used it, but they do have testimonials. If this is for real, this is a great, great, great resource, a great thing for the Muslim community in terms of being able to offer offer assistance to students and families that may not otherwise have access to interest-free loan. Okay, again, just to help everyone realize that dream of of being able to attend college or university. So that's pretty much all I have. Let me see. Yeah. But we do have a task, a take-home task, and I was going to have you all do anything else to add, Sister Letitia?
Nothing else to add. I think this is a good foundation. It's a good start. So right now it might not mean a lot to them, but I
Yeah.
think what'll happen is when they go and like when once families start the process, it'll like trigger some of the prior information that they've learned from this presentation today. So I think this was a good,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mashallah, absolutely. Again, yeah, you're right with that. And inshallah, I'll PDF this and share it in the group. So your take-home task for those who, here it says compare the 3 universities we have visited so far. If you have universities that interest you, whether or not we visited them, doesn't matter. Make those 3 colleges and universities the 3 that you're going to compare or get information about. If you're still really open, you don't really have any university that you have zoned in on, make use of this 3: George Washington University, Towson, and Stevenson University. I want you to come up with information about the type of university. Is it a public university, a private university? Is it big? Is it medium size? Is it small university in terms of size? Diversity. That was something, and I'm surprised that you guys didn't mention this about your visit to Stevenson University. Diversity is something that, especially for us as Black people, individuals, or as Muslims, diversity is something I'm always conscious about. I'm not saying a university is a total no-no because they don't have diversity, but it's something that you have to keep in mind, so you know what you're going to be faced with. If you're the kind of person that needs to see someone who looks at you every single time, and I think most people, individuals are that way, you may want to look at a university that's more diverse. If it doesn't really bother you and you know how to fill that void somewhere else, then maybe a predominantly white institute is not a big of a deal for you. So just keep that in mind. You want to think about the other costs to attend the university. So we mentioned the issue of parking on campus versus not being able to park at all. Combined programs. So at Stevenson University, they mentioned things like being able to get a master's degree by just adding 1 more year. Typically, master's programs are 2 years, right, Sister Letitia? Sorry. Yeah. So some programs actually let you combine them where you get 2 degrees, your bachelor's degree and your master's degree in like 5 years. Or less if you can wing it, but it's typically like a 5-year deal. So that saves you a whole 1 year of tuition and fees and things like that. You want to look at proximity to your home. If you're the kind of person that's fine with being far away versus if you need to be close, those are things you want to think about. So note how far away from home these universities you're comparing are. Any other extracurricular that they have to offer. We may not all be at the level where we are able to play on the sports team in the university, but you all have learned about the different types. They have club sports, for example, or intramural sports, which is, just gather your friends and go on the field and play around. Or Muslim Student Association, Black Student Union, African Student Association. Those are the types of extracurricular you want to start thinking in terms of things to keep you engaged in the university. And anything else you want to compare across across the 3 universities that you select would be welcome. So do a screenshot really quickly. This is your take-home task, inshallah, for next time we meet. And our next meeting would be, inshallah, on February 13th, in about 2 weeks. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen now. All right, so any questions, thoughts about the take-home task?
I like the idea of that 5-year program because you have to think they're going to graduate very young and very skilled. And again, if you have those student loans and you're going into a profession that's in high demand, like engineering or something like that, even teaching, whatever, wow, you could pay those loans off literally within a year. Don't go out and buy a Mercedes Benz or anything like that. Just pay those loans
Right.
off and drive a Honda Accord like I did for the first. Nothing's wrong with a Honda Accord. Okay, nothing. All right.
Right. So certain, those are great. I'm telling you, there's so many different things you can do to try to cut down your expenses, cut down the number of years, cut down the amount of money that you spend on university. And more, I'm realizing like, wow, there are a lot of scholarships and grants out there. Again, we're still gathering those resources and we'll be sharing. I really want this to be a forum where you all as students will share with us what you find and parents will share with each other what they're finding, especially as we are nearing the end of the 11th grade for some of you all. You'll be going off to 12th grade. We're excited and we really hope to be able to support you through that journey and learn along with you as well. I'm thinking about having this particular brother. He's actually a coach. He coaches college and high school students. So he'll be a great resource. He's based in Minneapolis, Minnesota. He'll be a great resource for you all in terms of just picking his brain and about the different ways, things you need to be doing to get ready and prepared for your college or career. Vocational studies, whichever one you select. All right, so that's it for today. Any questions, thoughts? No? Everything was perfectly clear. All righty. So, well, alhamdulillah, that is all I have. Any closing thoughts, Sister Letitia?
No, I'm glad I enjoyed this topic. Anything that has to do with
MashaAllah.
money and saving the kids money so they don't have to make the mistakes I made in my undergraduate years. I love talking about it. Yep.
MashaAllah. Thank you. All right, y'all. So have a great rest of your evening and a great week ahead.
Dr.
ahead.
I do have to talk to you for a second because there's
Okay, no problem.
for one of these kids to earn some money
Oh,
based on the
okay.
project that I'm working on. Or can I talk to them about it now and see if
Yes,
any
please go ahead.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
Salam alaikum, dear little brothers and sisters, and I want this to be posed to the whole group. So I am working on a project, a research project with Dr. Nadia of Good Tree. Are you familiar with Good Tree, Dr. Demi? It's Dr.
Sounds
Nadia.
familiar.
Yes, sister, Dr. Adiola, she's actually one of the ambassadors, but Dr. Nadia is the person who, her and her husband, Dr. Jamal, they're the ones who are in charge of it. So we're putting together the African-American tapestry. So we've done it like they've done it with the Native Americans. I think they are going to do it with the Hispanics as well. It's a tapestry, like a thread of African-American history. So my part that I'm assigned to is family, school, so the African American family or the Black American family, specifically Black American, meaning Black Americans, family, education, and finances. And that's my part that I'm assigned to. But with me being so busy, the research part, I could talk about it, but the research part is the part that I need help with. And I would love to I'm spreading this out. So whoever is like the best candidate to help me out with this, it's $25 an hour for 8 hours of work. So that's $200 that you'll get paid cash, give it to your parents and your parents will give it to you. But you have to do just a little bit of research, just telling me what the families looked like back in Africa pre-slavery. I'll tell whoever gets it, get the job, what the criteria is. And it has to be research based, like you're going in, pulling the research, giving me the information and citing the information. So it's all supervised. I tell you what you're looking at. We'll talk about what families look like post transatlantic slave trade, meaning when we were in slavery for 400 years, and then after the abolishment of slavery and what the African-American family looks like now, finances and everything like that. And so it is, $200 to me is a lot of money for 8 hours of work, just doing some research. And if it's more than 8 hours of work, of course, you'll get paid for that extra time. as well. So up to 10 hours, because it's just mostly researching, citing, giving me the information, you and I going back and forth just to edit and make sure everything is correct so that I could prepare the information for a presentation. So if anyone's interested in that project, working with me on that project, just let me know. I know you guys are busy with school and everything, but just let me know, Dr. Demi.
Will do. I'll connect the student to you that shows interest. So you all can let me know. Everyone has my phone number. I'll certainly connect them to you, Sister Letitia.
Awesome.
Thanks for that. Thanks for sharing that opportunity. Sounds
You're welcome.
excited.
Okay, awesome.
Sounds exciting. All right. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Alaikum salam.
Be sure.